Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
Violent armed robbery at a residence in Abuja. Her death is their home. And as Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka once said, the man dies in all who keep silence in the face of tyranny. Journalists who give voice to society must not be silenced by fear, violence, or insecurity. On behalf of the entire Some TV family, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Somto Chukwu's loved ones, our colleagues at Arise Television, and the wider journalism community. May our soul rest in peace, and may our light continue to inspire us to speak truth with courage. This morning, as we move forward with today's program, let us hold fast to the resilience that defines us as journalists and as Nigerians, for we, even in tragedy, will remain unbroken. Well, behalf of Some TV, say, may the soul of Somto Chukwu rest in peace. She is popularly known as Somi. May her soul rest in peace. And with me this morning to look into the news, do some analysis, is the Director of News and Public Affairs on Some TV, Mr. Daniel Kukwen. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Abraham, and good morning, Nigeria.
You're welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Yes, I could see you were shocked by the news of the death of one of your favorites, Somi.
Yes, Somi was, until her death, a veteran journalist, somebody that you can be sure of anytime she is on the screen that you will see the quality of the work. She's a lawyer and she practiced as a journalist. She does what she did very well. One of the ironies of life, there are instances where she was reporting against crime, against armed robbery, against senseless killing of human beings across the nation. Little did she know that she would be a victim of such attack in Abuja. Other reports have mentioned how that Katampe area has been reported to be a notorious area for armed robbery of recent. So there is a need for police to see to it that those criminals are apprehended and ensure the safety of lives and property of the residents of Abuja. We mourn with Somto Chukwu's family, just like you said. We actually going to miss her on this part of the universe.
Okay. Well, that is our message to the family. And we also call on the government to ensure that the killers of Somto don't go without facing the full wrath of the law. And also, the insecurity has become a major problem in Nigeria, not only in Katampe, not only in Abuja, but all across the country at various degrees. Kidnapping, violent banditry, violent kidnapping, violent robberies, violent attacks on people. These have become common thing. Terrorism, unfortunately, in this part of the world. And I think it is time we speak out as a voice against insecurity, and also we should also speak out against criminals and criminality. Because if you condone crime or criminality, condone criminals, you don't know where it may hit next. So, well, we call on government, we call on the police, we call on everyone involved in this to ensure that the killers of Somto will not go until they face justice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go straight to the paper. The story that is all over the place today is that of Dangote versus Pengassin, and NLC has joined the fray. NLC mobilized workers for strike against refinery. The Nigerian Labour Congress. I'm taking this from the Punch. From the Punch, we just go straight to the headlines on the major headline there, saying the Nigerian Labour Congress has directed its affiliate unions to begin urgent mobilization and prepare for a nationwide industrial action against the Dangote Group, accusing the conglomerate of sustained anti-worker practices. This came as a nationwide strike declared by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria on Monday against the refinery paralyzed operations at key oil and gas regulatory institutions, including the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Also on Monday, the National Industrial Court in Abuja restrained Pengassin from embarking on its industrial action against Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals, barring the union from halting crude oil and gas supplies to the $20 billion Lekki-based refinery. However, Pengassin declared that it was not aware of the court injunction, arguing that court orders or processes were served via court belief and not through social media. In an internal memo shared with the Punch on Monday and addressed to the President and General Secretary of the affiliate unions, NLC President Joe Ajaero placed NLC affiliates on alert. The directive followed a clash between Dangote Refinery and Pengassin. Well, this has been going on. The oil union earlier announced that more than 800 workers at the Dangote Refinery were dismissed after attempting to unionize. The union alleged that many of the jobs were replaced with more than 2,000 expatriates, mainly from India. Dangote has denied the accusation, saying the layoffs were part of a restructuring to improve safety and prevent sabotage, adding that over 3,000 Nigerians remain employed. So that is the situation, and there has been a standoff between Pengassin and Dangote. So my own contribution to this is that the NLC, Dangote, they should feel the pulse of the people and understand, because whatever you do, whatever you fight for your workers, you fight for your company, if it's going to affect all Nigerians, then you can't fight for your right and put me at
in pain.
In pain, because I have my own right to have access to goods, essential goods like petrol. So you can't, in order to enforce your rights, then you stamp on the rights of others. There's courts to settle this, the arbitration panels. Why don't you look at those before plunging the country into unnecessary strike action? At the end of the day, this action may not be reversed, but a lot of harm has been done. Now, there have been serious shortfalls in fuel supply across the country, and once it hits the street so hard, people may just turn on all the parties involved on this.
I was expecting Labour to follow the path of peace, though they are reputed to be the organization like that always go on strike. There are alternative ways of settling this, just like you mentioned. There are better ways of solving this problem than embarking on a strike that is going to place the lives of Nigerians in harm. The effect of this strike is well known by every one of us. It is the common man, most likely on the street, the man that has no much funds in his pockets, that will suffer it. If you go on strike, the Dangotes and all those people will still go about their lives without anybody among them being affected. It is the common man on the street that has no say in whether the Dangote can re-employ those people or like that. So the best thing for NLC to do at this point in time is to take into cognizance the suffering that is going on around the nation, the insecurity and other things. Let's not add to it. There is no need, because this strike, if it is embarked upon, can degenerate to only God knows what. So there is a need for NLC to take this into cognizance too. look for legislative oversight. If there is a way National Assembly can intervene, if there is a way DSS can intervene, if there's a way they can go to court. I think I saw one other report somewhere that mentioned how courts has stopped them from embarking on strike. So I think these are the ways to go, not embarking on strike and shutting down the economy, and it becomes something else.
Now, let us look at the guidance. The same story on the Guardian. On the Guardian, say gas use has grown as Pengassan strike crashes power generation export. Now, you can see that it is already affecting the gas sector. So Nigeria economy is reeling from the escalating strike by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Power Station of Nigeria, Pengassan, which has stalled oil and gas exports, disrupted petroleum supply, and left power plants starved of gas. By midday yesterday, national electricity generation has dropped to approximately 2,700 megawatts, nearly half of the normal output. Daily economic losses from the inability to export crude are estimated at $110.8 million, with growing risk of breaching international supply contracts. The union is protesting the alleged illegal dismissal of over 800 Nigerian workers. Okay, now you can see that we're already feeling the effects. To reacting, a former president of the Chartered Institute of Bank of Nigeria, Professor Segun Ajibola, said that while unionism is a fundamental right, it must operate within legal and national security boundaries. Say fundamental rights are not absolute. There must be checks and balances, he noted. He explained that unions historically emerged to protect vulnerable workers from exploitation, but over time, many has become overzealous. Across health, education, aviation, oil and gas, and electricity, we have seen excesses that undermine national stability, he said. And I agree with him. We went further to say Ajibola recalled that some private universities and banks bad unions while offering superior service conditions, thereby removing incentives for unionism and ensuring industrial peace. He stressed that while unionism cannot be outlawed, legislative guardrails are essential to prevent destructive activism. National assets must be protected from any destructive tendencies of unionism. I agree with him.
Yes, fundamental human rights are not absolutes. I like that. When you want to fight for your right as a member of Pengassan or a member of any other labor union, there is a need for you to understand that as you pursue your right, there is a need for you to remember that another person who is not a member of your organization, who is a Nigerian that have his own rights too, his rights should not be trampled on. When you shut down national assets, when you shut down the economy in the name of strike, and you put people who have relations in the hospital, you put the life of those people in the hospital at risk, you put the life of people who are traveling. There are people who are supposed to travel with ease, but because of these for scarcities and other things like that, that as a result of the industrial action, so many bad things is going to happen. So it is in one way or the other some sabotage.
Yes.
You understand? Now, until we understand that what we do when we embark on industrial action can be described as sabotage, we may not get to where we're going. All you want to do is to see to it that some kind of redress is made concerning 800 people. You don't care whether people are losing their life in the process. You don't care whether the economy is being trampled on in the process of looking for your rights as a labor member. Then there is a need for them to come back and think about this as they go about those things. Let
me take this investment infrastructure expert Joseph Savsa. He was more direct, describing the strike as an economic sabotage. Let me quote him. Say, unionism is a right, but it should never be political or a threat to national assets like oil and gas. Once it crosses that boundary, sanctions must follow, Savsa said. They linked the current challenges to past union missteps, citing, I want you to take note of what he said. He said, citing the privatization of the power sector. Instead of prioritizing the long-term sustainability of the sector, he argued, unions focused on retirement benefits and dues. And I remember then, they were more focused on people that will be retired, people that will do this. They didn't care about the long-term sustainability.
Yeah.
And that is why the assets were ended up as scraps. The same happened in NNPC, refineries, huge salaries were paid, even when no production was taking place. How many times have the union looked at these things and say, what are we doing? We have staff say, what are you doing? How come this money is going into paying you and trying to revive where you work and nothing is working?
But to set up unions like that, labor unions are supposed to protect the interest of their members and other things. You understand? There has to do with the welfare of their members and the welfare of Nigerians as a whole. You know, there are instances where these people only concentrate only on their welfare, in less regards of how the pursuance of those welfare on those emoluments affects other aspects of the economy. So at times, this is the experience we have. If you pursue things as a member of a labor organization, there is a need for you to understand, just like I said earlier, there is a need for you to understand that as you pursue those things, you don't abandon those things that are in your pursuit that will make Nigeria grow, that will make Nigeria more secure, that will make things, just like you mentioned about the electricity union. They went for those strikes and pursue only things that benefit them personally. They don't care about the sustenance of the organization. They don't care about the sustenance of the power sector. So the whole thing becomes like sharing of the national cake.
Well, let's just leave them for some time. Move to another paper. Daily Trust. Daily Trust. Let's take this major story. Northern leaders unite against challenges. Northern leaders and governors from the region have called for a united front to address the region's security and economic challenges. They spoke in Abuja Monday during the Northern Nigeria Investment and Industrialization Summit, NNIIS 2025, themed Unlocking Northern Nigeria's Mining, Agriculture and Power Potentials. That is MAP 2023. The event was called at the instance of the Northern Elders Forum. MAP 2023, according to Northern Elders Forum, is a 10-year blueprint for transformation, a framework designed to reposition Northern Nigeria as a hub of innovation, industrialization, and inclusive growth. For over a decade, the region has been beset by banditry, insurgency, farmer-elder clashes, and kidnapping. Speaking during the summit, the governors of Zamfara, Nasarawa, and Gombe said fragmented responses have weakened the region's bargaining power and delayed progress. They called for a unified front to tackle insecurity and drive economic transformations across the region. This is a good one. This is what I expect them to be doing. The Northern Elder Forum, this is what you should be pursuing, not pursuing over how the Northern power will be retained in the North and it should be rotated back and the rest of it. This kind of combined efforts, coming together to bring out policies is good. That is, again, if they will sustain this, if it's not just for the photo ops, talk, Jojo, and everybody. That these things have been pursued, then it just die away. And another thing I always like to look at is this meeting that is convened like this. If they tell you the funds, the money that will
they use to convene
every state, the money is spent. Then collectively, the money they contribute.
So, and look at what Governor Dadala once said. He said, investors, both domestic and international, are not philanthropists. They are realists. They will not commit capital where it is not safe.
Definitely.
So as they go about this meeting, they should understand that the first thing they need to do is to ensure that there is security in the North. Security is as a result of insecurities as a result of so many factors. We need to tackle this thing from the beginning and see how we can move as a nation. Let's meet up with our counterparts in the south of Nigeria. If we're at the same par of development, I believe Nigeria will be somewhere better than we are now. So the northern leaders are on the right track. We commend them for this initiative, and we pray that they will be able to sustain it so that it won't end in Kaduna's meeting, and that's all.
And that's all. let us take away from there. Let me take something from, okay, I'm trying to take something from Daily Independent. I think is in relation to that story. Yes, let me take this. Sule to governor, that's on the Daily Independent, Sule to governor, fighting security. We have enough funds now. That is coming from the governor. Let me see whether the headline aligns with what is said exactly.
Okay.
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has told his colleagues in the north to stop passing blame over insecurity, insisting that the unprecedented revenue now available to states give them no excuse not to act. Speaking on Monday at the 2025 Northern Nigeria Investment and Industrialization Summit in Abuja, Sule noted that monthly allocations to the 3 tiers of government have quadrupled under President Bola Tinubu's reform. He said for the first time in our history, all tiers of government are sharing more revenue than they ever imagined, Sule said. He said over 2.2 trillion was shared this month alone. And when I became governor in 2019, we were sharing between 590 billion and 620 billion. Today is 4 times that amount. The governor urged Nigerian leaders to invest the windfall in productive sectors while taking charge of the security of their states. So this is coming from a governor. Have you done an analysis of what he has done with his own money?
That is I think the best thing he would have said is, okay, look at what I have done, look at what I have done, look at what I've done. Yeah. I'm encouraging you to do this and do this and do this, just like I have done in my own state. Well, he has not said that. Maybe is a way of saying, okay, I'm just encouraging us to remind ourselves that there is a need for us to sit up. It's not bad too, but he's in the same category with the people he's trying to advise. Let's see how it goes. Just like I said, if they're able to sustain this thing, if they are going to translate these things into tangible things on ground, the meeting will have meaning. But this meeting will be useless. The money invested in the meeting will be useless if at the end of the day it does not translate to any physical development in the north. This is not the first time this kind of meeting is being convened.
A lot. Yeah. Even at the regional level, you see, at the sub-regional level, you see Northeast Governors Meeting. There was a Northeast Governors Meeting just
recently in
Jalingo, Taraba State. What have they really implemented from the communique? So it's just communique upon communique.
If I have, peradventure any of them is listening to us, I'm looking forward to another time they want to convene this meeting. They should gather all the funds that they've gathered to convene this meeting and construct a hospital, a road, something somewhere in that location. For instance, now that they've done it in Kaduna, they should construct a hospital in Kaduna.
And then do it virtually.
They only come and say, okay, we've gathered to commission this thing.
Why should they gather to commission?
That is another thing.
To me, we can say, okay, last year we spent, going for this meeting, we spent $1 billion naira. But I'm just saying we spent $1 billion naira. Now, why don't we use $1 billion naira to build this? And we'll do this virtually. We'll do this virtually.
That is it.
They can do this meeting virtually. We do a lot of meetings. Students do it internationally. People do meetings from here to between all over the world. So we are trying to save money.
When a governor is traveling for a meeting like this, he'll move with all his convoy, his security attachment. The cost of one governor attending this meeting is enough to do something tangible somewhere.
Yes.
Now imagine all the 19 northern governors gathering in Kaduna just to talk.
No, Abuja.
I think it was convened in Kaduna. I think it's in Kaduna. Well, I don't know. That's not the most important thing, whether it's in Abuja or Kaduna. The fact is that this meeting can be done virtually just like you advised, and funds that were expended holding this meeting and attending this meeting can be channeled to another better infrastructure that will benefit Nigerians more than this.
Okay, it was done in Abuja. I'm trying to see the governors there. I can't find my state governor in this picture.
Okay, maybe somebody represented him. Okay, the picture?
Okay, maybe it was, but what? whatever it is, let them just come with some. Let us begin to see results of these meetings, results of these communiques being released and the rest of it. And, well, there is a good one, but the results will be much better if we can get that. So with that, let's go to another paper. Let's go to the Vanguard. Let's go to the Vanguard. Yes, the Vanguard. Let's look at the story on the Vanguard. 2027 presidency, no automatic ticket for Jonathan in PDP. That is the Gbenga Ashim Solidarity Movement, that is GHSM, has declared that former President Goodluck Jonathan will not enjoy a free ride to the presidential ticket of the People's Democratic Party in 2027. Reacting to remarks credited to Professor Jerry Ghana, suggesting Jonathan's possible comeback on the PDP platform, the GHSM National Coordinator Abdurazak Amzat stressed that the PDP flag bearer will only emerge through an open and transparent process in line with Electoral Act 2022. He said, with due respect, Professor Jerry Ghana is entitled to his enthusiasm about the return of former President Jonathan. However, only PDP delegates to the National Convention can pick the party's flag bearer, and ultimately, God Almighty will determine the outcome, not a few party stalwarts, Amzat said in a statement. Amzat argued that Nigerians are yearning for progress, not a return to the past, warning that Jonathan represents an holder that many citizens are ready to consign to history. So, well, that is this back and forth. And have you noticed that this Gbenga Ashim Solidarity Movement is one of the most vocal movement within the PDP? They are beginning to, you see, things come up and people are beginning to seek for their reactions. And they became quite known when they kicked against the zoning of the presidency to the south. To the south. Gbenga Ashimu, even though he's a Yoruba man, he's from Kogi State, he's from the north. He's from the north. So, and he has been, his men has been pushing, and he's getting popular by the day.
Yes, as he's getting popular by the day, he just made a statement that is gaining more attention day by day. Whatever it is that they do as a political party, they should remember that Jonathan Goodluck, if he emerges as a flag bearer, will he be able to be sworn in as a president, if at all he wins at the end of it? Or that is a very important question for them to ask. And I think, to me, as a commentator, I'm looking forward to PDP coming out to clarify that this is how far we have gone on this matter. Until they made that statement, I will still have some doubts on whether Jonathan can be filled as flag bearer and if he wins election. You know, just imagine that Jonathan Goodluck win election and is being declared. Then something common that he will not be able to be sworn in. Do you know the kind of crisis it will degenerate to in this country? So there is a need for us to look at this thing at this point in time so that we don't get it wrong.
Well, that is what they say. He said Jonathan era cannot be painted as perfect, as a perfect time. It was a period when the diversity of our nation began to be deeply mismanaged, rekindling ethnic tensions and religious bigotry, a legacy that has unfortunately worsened under subsequent governments, he added. He also revisited Jonathan's foreign policy record, faulting Nigerians' decision in 2011 to break ranks with the African Union and support NATO's intervention in Libya. He described the move as a strategic blunder that destabilized the Sahel and aggravated insecurity across Nigeria, Mali, Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, and other West African countries. And on domestic governance, the GHSM leader insisted that Jonathan still has questions to answer on corruption allegations that trailed his administration, particularly the infamous Dasuki Gate arms procurement scandal. Hamza, however, affirmed that PDP remained the democratic platform where no aspirant, including former president, should expect automatic endorsements.
Yes, even former president should not expect automatic endorsements. I agree with him. But on listing this and that, who will emerge that has no precedence like that? You will discover that all these people in political class, in one way or the other, have these shortcomings in one way or the other. So I think what we should look at is how prepared is the person and how committed will he be if at the end of the day he emerges as the leader. So even the person speaking now, the person making those analyses, if you trace back his records, he has one shortcoming or the other at some point in time in his life. So that is it. We should not dwell on this. Let's dwell on how possible it is for President Jonathan, if at all he wins election, whether he will be sworn in or not. When we get that one cleared, then we can run with it.
Well, nobody will. No, the thing is this: your political enemies won't prepare your bed for you. So it is left for him to prepare his bed, even within the party, that people don't want him. These are people within the party bringing out, and some of the things he said are things that, we've forgotten these things. Yeah. It is now that he brings it out. I remember, yes, it wasn't a perfect time then. We had the issue of the unfortunate NATO's intervention in Libya, that it was what is destabilizing all these weapons, all these fighters that are coming, are people that are fighting in Libya. The weapons are weapons released to Libyans during that
Arab Spring
and the rest of it. And look at it, we're suffering it now. Libya, that used to be a little paradise, now is a war zone. It's a very dangerous place to live. And you can also see he spoke about this. It was during his era that we began this very, very dirty way of doing politics in such a way that ethnicity, religious bigotry became a campaign slogan for many people, and we've not been able to overcome those issues to date. We still have those 2015 election. The problems it brought, they are still here with us because of the negativity, the tensions between religion and ethnic groups.
Yes, it happened under his regime, but will you blame Jonathan for those negativities, those tensions, or that? People react to things the way they want, and you don't have control over it. Yeah. I think it was, though I was not in Gombe, but we saw it on news that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, sitting president was pelted. His convoy was passing, and they stoned at. So you see, it happened under his regime. Yeah. We don't know whether it is because they hated him so much, because he was so unlikely.
To me, it is not it. You oppose someone, not because you hate him.
Yeah.
You don't like him. Did you see what people did to President Tinubu when he was contesting? A lot of fake videos were done about him. So many lies in his person, his family. So it happens. But the thing is that we overdo these things. It shouldn't be done with lies.
Yes.
You should compare. The same is happening to Peter Obi. Yeah. I think the person that have had the softest landing among is Atiku.
Okay.
In terms of personal attack on his person this. I think Atiku is one of the luckiest among those the major contestants. His person is hardly attacked, unlike Peter Obi, Tinubu, Jonathan, and the rest of them. They've had people attack them seriously. Then there's issue of this Dasuki Gate. There are still a lot of questions to be asked, and those questions need to be answered. It's a very, very huge. This was money recovered from Abacha, and it was huge. It was huge. And from all indication, an order from the president came for this money to be disbursed for elections. So there are a lot of questions. Just like you said, everyone has questions to answer.
Yeah.
Everyone has questions to answer. Well, with this, let's go to... Yes, let us go to the story of our own Somto Chukwumaduagu, who died in the early hours of Monday, September 29, following a violent armed robbery at a residence in the Katampe area of Abuja. Well, yesterday, in a statement obtained from the ex-handle of Arise News Channel, 29 years old broadcaster, affectionately known as Asomi, was a respected news anchor, reporter, and producer who had become a familiar and trusted face to viewers across the country. The statement read, "It is with heavy heart that the management and staff of the Arise News Channel announced the passing of our beloved colleague, news anchor, reporter, and producer, Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagu. Somi tragically passed away in the early hours of Monday, September 29, 2025, following an armed robbery incident in a residence in the Katampe area of Abuja that is being investigated by the Nigerian police. She is just 29 years old and she is a cherished member of the Arise News family, also a vibrant voice that engaged and connected with our viewers. Beyond the airways, Somi was a lawyer who was a professional and supportive colleague and a friend to many. And tribute has been pouring in from across the media industry, civil society, and legal profession as far, and also the public has been coming in to mourn this young woman that have done greatly in this profession.
Yes, in response to that, let me just read out a Facebook post of a veteran journalist, Martins White Ufua. He said, "The death of news anchor with the Arise Television, Somtochukwu Maduagu, was reportedly killed in Katampe residence in Abuja, should be thoroughly investigated by the police." Now, look at what he said. "How did the public come to the conclusion that the assailants were robbers? If they were, who else fell by the bullets of the robbers?" You understand? He said, "At this moment, the FCT Police Command still maintains that the situation is a subject of investigation, meaning they have no firm leads on the identity of the assailant, whether they are robbers or hired assassins. Now, her death should be thoroughly investigated to unravel the foul play, if there is any. My heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, the Arise TV family, and well-wishers. May the soul of the departed find eternal rest." That is on the Facebook page of Martins White Ufua.
To me, I don't want it throwing up controversies over that. I will go with it's the message from Arise News Channel, and the announcement they made, and they say she followed an armed robbery incident in a residence. For now, it is armed robbery. That is what the official statement from Arise. So I don't. We have a way of trying to just let us mourn her while investigations go. Because I don't like unnecessary theory. Sometimes it muddles up the whole conversation. That even when the truth comes up, people will say somebody said it's not robbery. You know the way. Let us channel these things to the right authorities.
Okay.
Let us leave it out the social media space, because I know this situation, if it's not properly managed, and bloggers begin to pick people's opinion, both rightly or wrongly, as someone said, it's not robbery, it's not this. Let us just take all this information to the right authorities.
Yeah, I think he's saying the same thing with you, because he said, if the police are saying the issue is still under investigation, Arise TV should not just come out to conclude that it is armed robbery. That's just what he said. And I think I agree
Arise,
with him.
as I believe Arise, they are employers. They should know more about this. And I believe they are professional enough to know the volume of the statement they made. Let's leave it at that. The police is investigating. When the police comes up, it will come up. There's no point saying is this, is that, is this, is that. I know how rumors start in Nigeria. And once it gets to the point where people begin to believe theories, look at what happened to this young man, Mohbad. People just began all manners of theories. And today, the guy's memory is not resting in peace. Every time someone comes up with a theory, they pursue it, they make money out of that theory. Another person says, no, it's this person that is responsible for his death. They begin to do, if you go to social media, let me just tell you, especially the western part of Nigeria, there are some people that are into TikTok live videos. Women that are old enough to be mothers of Mohbad.
Yeah.
People who are senior people in the industry, they kept on doing live TikTok video. Today they will speak about the mother, gather people, they have new information. Tomorrow is the father, is his child. They kept on creating different stories about just to, and I looked at it, most of them are not looking for justice for Mohbad. It's a popular issue that they're using to build their page and make money. That is justice. So let us allow the police and let us support Arise. She is their employee. Let us allow the police and other security agencies to give us statements about this so that we don't hit up the because I know where this will lead to if we don't control the narratives in the media for now.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us go for a break. When we return back, we will be looking at Taraba News. Thank you very much.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 24/7 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Market. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future. Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance, and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 24/7 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Market. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSub. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future. Hey Taraba.
Keep watching Some TV.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Fellow Tarabians, my name is Professor Jerome Nyame, the People's Professor. I want to call on all 168 wards that continuous voters registration is currently going on. I urge you to get your PVC today, your voice and your ticket to participate in shaping our dear states. Get your PVC now, keep it safe and exercise your rights. Let's make our voice heard. Thank you. I remain the People's Professor, Professor Jerome Nyami.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
In Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Some TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Super Cash. Unlock seamless 24/7 financial transaction, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Market. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future.
Keep watching Some TV. watching Some TV.
Welcome back to the morning show on Some TV. I am Abraham Mani Joda, and still with me is Mr. Ira Daniel Kukwen, the Director of News and Public Affairs on Some TV. Once again, good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. Good morning to you out there.
Yes, and good morning, Tarabans, because right now we'll be looking at stories that has to do with Taraba State. We'll be taking those stories from Taraba News. So this morning, let me start with the story of how Taraba pushes for tax justice and gender responsiveness. Well, Taraba State pushes for tax justice and gender responsive reforms as the TJ and GP 2025 awards in yesterday at the Taraba State Internal Revenue Service Conference Hall. And the Taraba State Justice and Governance Platform, they called for renewed commitment to fairness and accountability and inclusiveness in taxation. So that is some of the calls they made yesterday. But while we're at it, let's just take some major headlines on the Taraba News. Let's take some major headlines on the paper. Says, Faransa's leadership rebrands TRRS as a model of transparency and fair taxation. That is on page 3 of Taraba News. Then lawyers urge Taraba government to settle 80 million judgment debt owed Wukari land owners. This story, as I can remember, we discussed the story some months back. Then the Santo Chukwu Maduagu tragedy, analysis of the implications of killing a news anchor in Abuja. Then also, we have Akrisa FAO intensify ecological restoration efforts in Taraba. Then Professor Bako inspects sporting facilities in preparations for NUGA prelims. Then testimony of Taraba State government and semi-humanitarian touch. Then we also have APC Youth Vanguard rejects at SIEC attempt to exclude party from local government polls in Taraba. Then progress movement through culture in Taraba. So, well, I would like to know, let us just go for a short break. When we come back, we'll take the stories.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Welcome back to the morning show, the Taraba News segment. Let's just go straight to one of the stories. We have this story here. Faransa leadership rebrands Taraba Internal Revenue Service as a model of transparency and fair taxation. Yesterday, at the program of TNT for Tax Justice, Brigadier General, the executive chairman of Taraba Internal Revenue Service, Brigadier General Faransa, was awarded a leadership award. Yes, for his contribution to taxation in Taraba State. And during the program, during the TJ and GP 2025 awards, there was interaction with market women on the program. And when he came around, he made some statements that really caught the attention of everyone. He said, anytime he sees the market women, he remembers his mom, because he was son of a market woman. So he said, you are my mother. That his mother sold akara to send him from primary school to secondary school, to university level. All right. And that was why. So he, as a market woman, has heart. And you could see how passionate he was about what he was saying. So whatever it is, he's going to, he must support them. He said he knows the pains they go through because he has been through that pain with his mother and the rest of it. So it caught attention of a lot of people to see that, yes, you may have humble beginnings, but the sky is your limit if you have education.
It's true, education is not only when you go to conventional school. Yes. If you have a trade that you've learned, it's still education, because at times we undermine the activities of artisans, describing them as illiterates that they are actually not. Yeah. So at times when somebody says you're educated and the effect of that education is not actually telling on you, on the community where you live, then your education is useless.